CHR Chicago Hockey Radio post-game show. An exciting one, fellas. Justin Lynch, Lee Grossman, Tassos Kirkos. Hawks lose 5-2, but that's not the point today. It's not the point. One of the points. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Hit the thumbs up on this video if you're watching on YouTube right now. And head over to our Spotify and Apple Podcast page. Leave a 5-star rating and review. All those things, they help us out a lot, especially the subs and the follows on Instagram. Tell a friend, too. Like, we always say that, but, you know, tell your friends about this show. If you really like us, share it around. Tell different Blackhawks fans in your life, and just be talking about it. Same thing we're doing out in the world. Fellas, the debut of one Sam Rinzel and one Oliver Moore. Let's break it down. Justin, Lee jumped in for a live stream a little bit late, but that was all right. Better late than never. Got the tail end of the second period, third period. Justin, your thoughts on everything. I'll throw it over to you first.
Well, I think that's the main positive takeaway from this game. Like, you could look at the score, 5-2 loss to Utah, whatever. Like, I think the positive for me is that both Oliver Moore and Sam Rinzel looked really solid in their debuts, especially Sam Rinzel. I think you could argue he was the best player on the ice tonight. I know he didn't get any production, but it's like, man, he was whipping it around, dude. He was so close to that first career goal quite a few times. I think one may have went off the board there or whatever, but man, he was confident, man. His skating in the offensive zone. Like, I was thinking throughout this game, especially at the way that power play was looking, like, throw him in the first unit, man. Like, we're not getting anything going there. Throw him in the first unit. Maybe we'll see that in the future, but it's like, that looks like a guy, I think even Frank Saravalli said it, where it's like, I don't think he's going to need any time at the Rockford Ice Hogs. Like, that's a guy I think who's an NHL player right now. I think he's developed really nicely the last 2 years at Minnesota. I think we saw that tonight. Just looks super confident today, which is what you want to see. And Oliver Moore, too. Good game from him, too. Third line, playing him with Nick Foligno and Joe Veleno is a interesting strategy, but I still thought he was able to drive that line. Just his speed is just so noticeable. Like, he's like Max Verstappen out there, man. He's flying out there. He creates. He's a creator. I think he's a guy who's going to be a top 6 player. Maybe you could throw him on the wing, center. He could do both. And Rinzel, top 4D, maybe even a top pair guy. Like, I think I definitely see shades of Brock Faber there for sure. I think Saravalli pointed that out as well, and I could see that. Really impressed with both of them in their debuts. No production, but I thought both of them really were the most noticeable Hawks for me, maybe outside of Frank Nazar. Really impressed with both.
Frank Nazar was everywhere. He just couldn't score.
Oh, man. All Swedish, no finish. Like, this guy would be Showtime if he could put the puck in the net. I say it every show, and I'm going to say it yet once again. When he learns how to finish, oh my goodness, he's going to be so good. He's going to be a stud. Even Tassos was glazing him on the Friday postgame. I think we'll be glazing him a lot more today. Like, he was probably the best talk on the ice today. I think I just said it was Rinzel, but it was probably Frank Nazar. He was everywhere. He was noticeable. He was creating, but unfortunately couldn't finish.
Yeah, Tassos glazing Nazar on Friday got me so fired up. When I listened to the show back after you guys were done, I was just getting so pumped just hearing Tassos glaze a Blackhawk player.
He's really gets
good.
You going.
He's really good.
But
best player on the team.
Yeah, I think it's for good reason. I think he's like easily been our best player for the past however many weeks. He's again
been over a month now.
Yeah, and tonight was another tonight I should say today, this afternoon was another game where he's just everywhere. He was solid defensively. He tracks back so well. He breaks up plays all the time. And then, he's just so creative when he's in the ozone. Not to mention, obviously, he's like probably the fastest player on the team, if not one of them.
I think Oliver Moore's going to have something to say about that. But the thing with Nazar, too, is he's as fast with the puck as without it. If anything, he gets faster. There are not a lot of guys who could say that for him. He's just so dangerous from that standpoint. So those two, man, how about we see Frank Nazar and Oliver Moore on the second line together? How about that? Does that sound like fun? That's what I want to see. I understand springing out. I think that's what Sorensen was going for tonight. But I think those two together would be absolute cinema. I'd love to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, put Ilya Mikheyev with them, too.
There you go. That line, oh my goodness. Nobody's going to keep up.
That could be the fastest line in the NHL.
Up there. That would be fun to watch. But I think that's too complicated for Sorensen to comprehend, man. I don't think we're going to be seeing that under him. But yeah, no, I understood not really screw up the top 6, though. I think just the way they looked last game, you're not going to change too much there. I think third line for Moore probably makes sense to start. That's probably going to see him going forward here. I thought even for him, I think with Rinzel, it's pretty clear he's not going to be an ice hog. Moore might be a little less clear because he is, 2023 draft class versus 2022. It might be a Nazar situation where he starts next season in Rockford, produces too well down there to where he gets called back up. But no, he looks NHL ready too, man. I was really impressed at both of them, but especially Rinzel. Yeah.
Do you said you see more? Tassos and I were talking on the live stream a little bit. I see Moore being like a really solid middle six guy on a good team. Like I don't think that's a guy that I any sort of tape that I've seen from him. That's not a guy that I think is going to be like a top line, elite player. But I think he could be a really, really solid middle six guy that's just fast, responsible, does all the little things right. And like you need guys like that. You can't just have talented superstars that are like, you're not going to have an entire team of first liners. You need guys that are going to do the jobs and be on the PK and stuff like that. And so I get excited because it's like that this team, as we look at like how the roster is going to fill out over the next couple years and like who are going to be legit NHL guys, you've got these jobs open in the middle six and the bottom six too that need to be taken. And so I think Oliver Moore is going to be really good in that area.
And that's what he's already been doing. Like the Minnesota and even the U.S. like development teams at the World Juniors, like he hasn't really been on the top lines, but he's been kind of a second, third line guy. You could kind of play him in all situations and defensive roles and PK power play. He could play anywhere. He's a versatile player. So he might not be putting up crazy numbers like a Frank Nazar will be, but he's going to be such an important part of this team. There's no doubt about it. I just think watching this game, I know you lose 5-2, but it's like there's going to be a lot of negative Nancy's as usual after that who can only look at what's right in front of them, as you guys said in the stream, and can't just look past that. But I just thought watching this game, it was fun to watch so many real Blackhawks out there. Just the future of this team. They showed a graphic. It's like, what is it? Like 17 players are under 25 years old or something on this roster right now. Something like that. You could fact check me there. But my goodness, it's just fun to watch so many pieces on this team that are going to be around for the future, that are going to steer the ship here. And they're all going to be developing and growing together as one unit here. So there's going to be growing pains. There's no doubt about it. I think today showed that. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to take time for this team to learn to win together, learn to play together. But my goodness, it's so much more fun to watch than the early season, veteran laden lineups, right? It's such a younger team, more fun to watch. And I think it's just refreshing to see. Yeah.
I think that's the silver lining for us next year is like, I know Tassos has educated us on the fact that this team might be buns again next year, but it's like, at least it'll all be, dare we say it again, real Blackhawks.
Yes.
And not just be plugs that we're bringing in over the off season to have a paycheck for a year and just F off and do nothing for an entire year. So I think even if this team does struggle next year, it's going to be so much more enjoyable as a fan.
Yeah, it's going to feel a lot more like, the media has been glazing the Sharks all season, right? Because they've had such a young roster pretty much all season. It's going to be like that, but hopefully better than them record-wise. Like if we're this bad again next year, it's going to, which it could be the case, but, I still think it's only up from here. And I just think having a proper coach and, a few big additions, like it'll make a bigger difference than people think. And just having a younger, roster, more to prove, more to play for, I think will make a big difference. But yeah, even if you are losing games next year, which you will be out of the playoffs, it's like, doing with this type of lineup, like versus, just plugs that are there just to fill in the gaps while guys develop, like it'll be much more easier, much more fun to watch for me, much more, I'd take that all day. Yeah.
I thought Moore was noticeable tonight, which is a good trait to have, honestly, when you've been watching the Chicago Blackhawks like this. And, it's been, this game. So sorry, Lee and I are a little distracted. We're watching the end of Penn State UConn, a game that is now going into overtime with a spot in the Frozen Four on the line.
They're walking past a food court right there.
Well, you're wearing the Penn State hat, so I imagine that's who you want to win.
Yeah. I feel like I said this off air, but I feel like I called them as a sneaky team when I picked Maine to win it all, and then they lost in the first. They got dummied by Penn State. So
I think none of us really did well, right? Because I picked Minnesota, and then Lee picked Michigan State. So we all kind of we did not cook there. Yeah,
we picked good teams for having players sign into the NHL and leave those teams, but
do not ask CHR about college hockey. CHR confirmed non-college hockey knowers.
We were picking strictly off vibes, and skilled players, and college hockey is a lot of 23, 24, 25-year-olds that are transfers, that are like senior transfers or grad student transfers that are big boys and know how to win the hockey tournament. Like they know how to, shut down some of these teams with a lot of skill. But BU is going to the Frozen Four, though. They won their regional yesterday, so that team's like fun to watch. With
that team's nasty. Yeah,
Cole
BC
Hudson
too.
And all
Both
those
the Boston teams, are pretty damn good. So I imagine it's probably gonna be one of them, as it feels like it is pretty much every year these days. Or Denver, they're always hard to beat with David Carl at the helm.
That's the night game tonight. That's the night game. Boston College, Denver. So
there you go. That'll be a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one. That is a really good one. I'll be watching that after this. No, I liked Moore. So Moore was noticeable to me, and you need more guys that are just flat out noticeable when they're out there and play for different reasons, right? Like Jason Dickinson, Pat Maroon, some of these guys deeper down the lineup that they don't even, if we're noticing them, it's because of something off. Or
the one goal they score in
or they're dropping the gloves,
or they're dropping the gloves.
Which I will give Maroon credit there. Renzel got absolutely laid out, and Maroon stepped up for him and beat the shit out of him. So that was good to see. I think it was McBain that Maroon absolutely dummy there. So props to him there. Like that's why he's here. And apparently he has the most fights in the NHL since the 12-13 season. So there you go. He's going out swinging there. So good for him there.
Wow.
Yeah, he literally is.
Good. That was good from you. Going out swinging. Wow.
I wasn't even intentionally doing that, but now I see what I did there. So yeah, real genius there. But also I gotta say too, it's like I love how the Hawks were actually looking like really good this game. I think they were winning 2-1, and then you guys you start your live stream up Lee, and then Utah puts up 4 unanswered goals during the CHR live stream to win 5-2. Lee really is the jinx master, man. What is going on with that? We have to look into that.
I don't know.
It's becoming a theme with you, man.
It's insane. And it's like, it'll be so bad. Like, I'll say something and then the opposite will happen like immediately after. It's like, it's absolutely incredible and something we're going to have to fix going forward here on the show.
You need to become a reverse jinx master, right? That's the other end of it. Yeah.
Maybe I need to just start every show with tape over my mouth or something.
Yeah. It's hard to podcast without being able to talk though. Yeah. If anybody could do it, it's Lee Grosman.
I'll just mumble and moan since that's what chat seems to think I do all stream anyway. So,
well, yeah, we'll have to look into that. But just getting back to this game though, it's like, look, again, you lose 5-2, but I think there are positive, takeaways here. There were a lot of turnovers from the defense. Like that was pretty noticeable. And I'm sure people complaining about that, but it's like, look at the defense. Connor Murphy is the only veteran on that D-core. And I argue he was probably the worst one out there, honestly. He was terrible, the turnovers that he was creating. But if you got Vlasic, you got Levshov, you got Renzel, you got Kaiser, you got all these young defensemen. It's like, you're going to see that. You're going to see mistakes and growing pains. So nothing really surprising there from that
I agree. And there's no point of, you're exactly right. Like there's no point of like getting super frustrated or being like, oh man, we're so far away when you see like an 18-year-old defenseman make a bad pass. It's like, yeah, dude, they're going to happen. So I just not losing our heads as the season winds down, we head into next year. It's like, these guys are going to make some mistakes. I know we had a rage baiter in the stream earlier, and that kind of contributed to it a little bit. But, man, these guys are going to make mistakes. They're going to learn from them, and they're going to get better from them. So it's like, at this point in the year, it's like, I don't get upset when I see a young defenseman or a young forward make a bad play, because it's like, all right, you won't do it next year. Right? Like this is a runway for success next year and the years after. And it's just like pure development. You got 10 games left. Don't worry about a bad pass against the Utah Hockey Club at this point in the season.
Yeah, ditto. Often in the NHL, you have to learn the hard way, right? You have to learn through experience. And, these are plays that they'll learn from and become better from, starting next year for sure. Yeah.
Chat's talking about Ashton Hall right now.
What?
Have you seen that guy? The influencer that dunks his face in sparkling water every morning?
I've seen that. Yeah, that's what that meme's been all about. I've been wondering about that. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't really understand it, but yeah, cool. Not something that I do. That's not in my routine. Absolutely not. No, I'm not a sparkling water guy.
Getting up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he gets up at like 3:30 in the morning and then like eats a steak in a bathtub, and it's like, dude, what are
you brought up
I don't think he's not actually doing those things, Lee.
No, obvious. No shit. It's a bit. But
it's funny
the
you bring
banana
that up.
peel on the face, yes.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up the 3:30 in the morning bit because normally I'm not up around that time, but at my dorm, there was a fire alarm last night at 4 o'clock in the morning waking me up. There was smoke on my floor, and it was raining outside pouring over me at 4 o'clock, so my sleep was completely screwed over.
I know your ass was rattled. I bet you did not sleep after that.
No, I had a really hard time sleeping. So yeah, it's been a really groggy. It's been a Sunday scary type of day for me. So if my analysis today is bad, then I'm blaming that for it.
You got back into bed just like drenched in like smelling like burnt popcorn.
Yeah, somebody left the popcorn in the microwave up here or something. It was just an absolute disaster. Speaking of disaster, how about that Hawks power play tonight?
Oh, it's atrocious.
0 for 4, and that was kind of the difference in this game. Yep. It's like if you could just score on one of them. But they weren't able to do that. And there was something they said where I feel like they have to do some swapping around the pairs here, the combinations. Levshinov is good on the power play when the puck is in the zone because he's got that shot burst mentality, but he cannot break the puck into the zone to save his life. With that drop pass, they see it coming every time. The Hawks just can't get in the zone.
Why are they still forcing it? Like, I don't even know if that's on Levshinov. Like, I feel like...
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I feel like that's the play that, like, our coaching staff is, like, drawing up, and it's like, hey, here's what we're going to do for the 10th time in the past 3 games. They're not going to see it coming. And then, shocker, they see it coming, and it goes the other way. I don't know if that's on Levshinov, but I agree with you. I'd like to see Levshinov on that unit. You also, I mean, you've got Korchinski up here too, so maybe give him a shot at it.
How long is it going to take for Frank Nazar? Frank Nazar, have him carry the puck in the zone on the first power play unit. There is your solution right there. Yeah. How long is it going to take for Sorensen to find that? He's been our hottest offensive player, producing the most looks, most chances every game. Why is he on the second unit? Put him on the first unit. How about Renzel, the way he was, whipping around out there? Have him, I don't know. I know he just got here, but just the way he was looking, man, I think he's built for the power play.
Well, they had him on the second unit. The second unit, they had Korchinski and Renzel out there, so they were playing with defensemen. Yeah, they had 2 defensemen and 3 forwards, which was interesting, but it literally looked better than our first unit in their 30 seconds of power play time that they had on each peeper, but. Yeah, I completely agree with you. You got to mix it up. It's not working right now. Inject some of the youth into that first unit. Yeah. Like if you're doing it with the entire roster, you might as well do it with the power play unit. But I completely agree with you. It's actually a crime that Frank Nazar has not been put on that unit yet.
Yeah, also, if Renzel is going to be in the second unit, why not Oliver Moore? I think with his speed, he'd be, fantastic from that standpoint. If you're going to move Nazar up to the first unit, carrying the puck in the zone, maybe have Moore doing the second unit. I don't know. I'm just thinking off my head right here. But, why not throw these guys in these situations that they're going to be playing in their whole career, right? Learn now. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, I think Moore was playing like a lot of the net front for Minnesota. So like if he can get really good at that, that'd be awesome. And then, we don't have to have Bertuzzi playing on the first power play unit, just like crawling out there. I mean, that guy, there were a couple plays today from what I saw, just like him, just awful passes, kind of lazy, but also just like, it looked like he was trying, but just like making horrible passes. He's really not a great hockey player.
But he has 20 goals and 21 assists. Like, he's kind of done. Like, I know we've been saying he's been disappointing this season, but it's like he's kind of done what he always does, right? But probably just not playing to the contract. Obviously, he's probably overpaid a bit. But again, for where this team is at, probably not really an issue there. But yeah, again, I look at this team moving forward, though. He's got 4 more years left in that deal. And it's like, I don't really know what he's going to do here. I don't know. Like, I guess like maybe a second power play merchant there, score those tap-in goals and then disappear for 2 weeks like he always does. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what his role is going to be. We'll see. He's just such a streaky player, man.
In regards to his stats, I think half of his goals have come off of his like shin pads or his skates.
I think half of them were that a month stretch where he played at Bedard and you just get those tap-ins going.
And he was just kneeling. Yeah. He was basically playing he was playing knee hockey in the crease and just
yeah. He does not score pretty goals very often at least. And Bedard keeps trying to force that backdoor play in the power play. It's like it's not working, dude. Just shoot the puck. There was a 3-on-1 he had this game.
Yeah.
He gives it to Donato. Donato gives it back to him for some reason. But it's like, Bedard, shoot the puck, man.
That was in the first period, right?
That was the first period.
Okay, yeah. Because I brought that up because I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was bad. Like, Bedard shouldn't have passed it to Donato in the first place. Like, he should just rip that puck there, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, he did have an assist this game, a nice assist in the Donato goal, but maybe it wasn't his best game, if I'll be honest here. And I think he just had some, opportunities to shoot the puck and didn't. But that's kind of been a theme, unfortunately, this season. So hopefully I'll learn from that. Yeah.
He also turned the puck over in the O's. He tried to like put the puck through someone's legs, and then it ended up being a turnover. And it was the Bugstad goal.
That's it. Yeah, that tip in. Yeah, a little too fancy tonight. A little too fancy. Sometimes you gotta keep it simple. Yeah,
absolutely, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But do you want to do a little Utah talk?
Utah. Yeah, I mean, look, this game doesn't really change the long-term perspective here. It's like, they were on, I think, a 3-game skid. You finally break that skid, but they're not going to make the playoffs. They're out of it. They're a long way out.
They're 11 points out of it. Or I guess 9 because they just picked up 2 points against the Hawks.
Yeah, so. It just shows how much the Blues have been rolling and they haven't. So, you win a game against the Hawks, big deal. Like, doesn't really change how I think about that team. I do think they got some pieces here for the future to build off of, right? But unfortunately, for them, it's kind of seemed like more of the same from last season. I know a lot of people were thinking, myself included, that they picked them as a sleeper team for the playoffs, and it just hasn't really transpired this season. Yeah.
My Utah talk is I'm glad we don't have to watch them again this season.
Yeah, no more Hawk Utah games. Yeah.
Yeah, but like when you watch that team, it's not as like insufferable as it is to watch like the Seattle Kraken.
They have pieces. They have talent, right? So yeah, they're not boring to watch, but they're just not a team that I guess moves me. Yeah.
Like Tassos, when we had that argument during the Seattle game that made me look pretty stupid because Seattle scored like right after I brought it up. Utah's not in that boat. Utah's not in that boat where like Seattle just has like nothing.
Utah has a future. Like it feels like they're close. Like they're a couple pieces away, maybe.
But any sort of discussion that was happening like 2 weeks ago of them being like in the hunt is
it's completely gone away.
No,
it's done.
Yeah,
of course.
They've fallen off a cliff. It kind of feels like it's been a theme with that team. But,
Tampa beat the brakes off them.
Yeah.
Like that was the most thorough beating that one team has laid on another team this whole season.
They're just such a streaky team, right? It feels like they've gone through peaks and valleys all season. Like they started the year off really hot, then went through a rough patch, then found it again. It looks like they're getting back in that playoff hunt, and now it's just they've fallen off of a cliff again. It's like they just got to find consistency moving forward. Yeah.
They also, if you look at like a lot of their past results over the past like couple months, they don't beat good teams.
Like just beat up on the shitty ones like us.
Yeah, like all their wins come from bad teams, like genuinely. So, I don't know how you figure that out. Maybe get more offensive talent. But yeah, I agree with you. Probably just a couple pieces away. I know the wheels have kind of fallen off a little bit over these past few weeks, but they were there at one point. And I think we're going to see honestly a pretty similar situation in the West next year as far as like the playoff race goes, where it's like, you're going to have like 5 or 6 absolute wagons, but there's going to be like a lot of room for teams to get into those wild card spots, because I think it feels pretty wide open, because that's how it was this year. So, any of those teams that are right there, I think, should be seriously trying to bring in some pieces over the offseason to try to make the playoffs next year.
I have 2 more Utah talk points. They're quick hits. One, if we're talking Mitch Marner competitors in free agency,
please no, not Utah.
But they're like that.
That makes sense though.
That's a team that will throw a lot of money, I think, at Mitch Marner. Same thing with the San Jose Sharks. Same thing with a couple other teams out there. Maybe some East teams were missing, like Philly or Pittsburgh or Boston, or I don't know. But yeah, I think Utah could totally be in that mix. And my other Utah point is you can't go with the hockey club next year. Like,
real name.
Name talk. Like you cannot. That jersey, it was cool the first time looking at it. That jersey is atrocious. I like the colors, like the black with the powder blue and the white. But the Utah just down the chest
it just looks like a custom jersey from Shell or something. Yeah,
yes.
It's between, what is it, the Mammoth and the Outlaws or something? Yeah.
I think Outlaws is out. Like, I think it's either Mammoth or Hockey Club now.
Really? Well, it better be the Mammoth. The Mammoth's a good name. Like, it's not the Yeti, but that'll work.
I don't love it. I don't love the Mammoth. It doesn't.
Would you rather be the Hockey Club?
It's better than the Hockey Club.
Yeah, it is. No, that's true. It's better than the
Utah
club.
Hockey Team.
They should just add Hockey Club after the name. It should be like Utah Mammoth Hockey Club.
That's so stupid.
Now we're talking. What is this, soccer? This is the Premier League over here.
Wait, what was your first point?
What?
About Utah? I was going to say something and then you kept going and I didn't want to cut you off.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Outstanding work.
Oh, it was Mitch Marner.
Oh, Mitch Marner.
Saying
Mitch Marner, yes.
They were going to pay Mitch Marner a lot of money, and I was going to say that they're going to have to start charging $4 for a hot dog and like $5 for a water. No more $1 concessions after Mitch comes to town, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does. It would make a lot of sense for him. It's like I said, they're a few pieces away. Like Marner might be a piece, and that might be all they need right there. They're writing the off. So you bring up the Sharks, by the way. I had to bring this up in this post game. Did you see that Celebrity's
when did we bring up the Sharks?
You brought the Sharks in the Marner discussion.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, if the Sharks end up signing Mitch Marner, I will absolutely blow a casket. You probably won't hear from me next season. So we better beat them in the race there. But yeah, did you see Celebrity's car was like ran into by like the New York Rangers bus driver or something? Yeah.
His Range
After
Rover.
a 6-1 shallocking. Yeah.
I'd be so bummed.
Yeah, that sucks for him.
After losing 6-1 too is a tough.
What a troll.
Outcome.
Like, if that happened to me, I would genuinely, like, smash my phone. Like,
Macklin's finally getting the Bedard treatment over there, so there you go.
Yeah, he was probably smiling and making a TikTok with Will Smith after it happened.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. They're doing that, like, remake of the LeBron Wade play. Which, did you see that actually happen again? Was it Doncic and LeBron, like, had their version of that the other day? Yeah, that was pretty cool, I'll admit. Not that I'm a big basketball guy, but, yeah, that was funny.
All right. Any other big points from the game, gentlemen?
Yeah. There's one thing I want to say that Levchinov Leno goal was pretty nice. That little like pass through the legs there that Artie Party made. Mm-hmm. Like Levchinov he's had his pros, he's had his ups and downs up here, right? I think today was even further validation of that. But it's like, look, I think he's been every night you notice him, he's making plays. I've been really impressed with him. So I thought that was a nice play there. Even the reaction he had to the goal where he's like,
I love it. I love it.
He threw his head back. That was the most celebration I've seen off of an assist in a long time.
I love it. I want to see more guys celebrate, like on this team specifically. Like if you aren't going to be excited after a goal, why should the fans be?
Why do you play? Yeah. Like what's the point? Yeah. That's like there's nothing there's not a better feeling than scoring a goal in the NHL and hockey in general. It's like, like show some emotion, right? I'm sick of this media narrative that like, oh, the Sharks having fun, we're not having fun, which not that it matters. You're 31st, 32nd here. Like the goal should be about winning here, not having fun. But it's like, no, it's like these are the times to do it. Like this is a young roster, let's have some fun here, right? Let's show some emotion, right? That's what I want to see. I think with Levchinov, like he's always been a guy he seems like he's not afraid to do that. And I think it hopefully reverberates off the rest of the team. Yeah.
He was just so happy to get a point.
Hell yeah. I also think that the fourth goal that Utah scored, that was like kind of on him. I think that was more on Vlasic than it was on him. That was
I will say he had a rough night.
That was a bogus pass from Vlasic. Just kind of like screwed him over, just flung it at him. I don't even think he was looking at him. He just threw it at him, and Levchinov was clearly not ready for a pass there, which maybe he should have, but
do you think he was playing a little banged up after that Kerfoot play?
Yeah, probably.
I felt like he was kind of limping around out there a little bit. Maybe it's just me making excuses, but I feel like he was kind of off after that.
He did. Yeah. He looked like he was moving weirdly for sure.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can get some ice on that bad boy, and we'll be ready to go.
Hawks don't play till Wednesday.
Yeah, 2-day break is at the Avalanche too. I think it's a late one, so that'll be a tough one for sure. Yeah, they've been rolling.
It is Wednesday against the Avalanche.
It's a 3-day.
All right. That's probably a TNT one too. The Hawks always play in those big game broadcasts. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I wanted to see a first goal coming up here. Lev Shadow's been shooting the puck so much. He's getting apples.
He's been shooting the puck. He's been shooting the puck a lot.
I want to get one, man. Like I want to get that goal this season.
I think he wants to get that goal this season too.
Yeah. He's got 8 games left, right?
Rinzel had a couple of really good opportunities today. I thought he was gonna put one in. There was like that one sequence where he had 2 like really good opportunities. I think it was a feed from Maroon.
He's got a nice like hard low shot.
Rinzel?
Yeah,
he does.
He's probably gonna get it before Bedard at this rate, the way he's looking. Yeah, I mean, he's probably the best defensive for us tonight, for sure. Yeah,
super fun to watch. Really good skater. All right, anything else, fellas?
I think that's it from me.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, look, 5-2 loss, but I still think the vibes are pretty high right now. I think this is as high as they've been for a while this season. So 8 games left. Let's see it keep cooking here. I think Lev should have just burned that. Yeah, he played the 10 games too, so that first year of the LC is used up there. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him cook the rest of the season and just see the youth keep growing here for sure. Yeah.
Last thing, one from chat. Ovechkin down to 5 talk. Is it gonna?
Yes.
So they have 2 more games before they play the Blackhawks. They play. Hold on, I'm gonna figure it out. They play.
If he's within 3, he's gonna get it. Like
they play the Bruins on Tuesday.
Ooh.
And then they play. Oh gosh, is there another day?
Because I could totally see him dropping a hat trick against us, like he did
against a hat trick against us.
Dude, he did it. He did it when he got to 800 goals. It was against us. Like it wouldn't shock me if he did it again. Like this is. Would it shock you? I don't know.
I guess it's a fair point. Maybe it
2 goals, an empty netter. I don't know. It's doable.
You're right. You're right. You're not tweaking.
Bruins Tuesday, Hurricanes Friday, or Tuesday. Bruins Tuesday, Hurricanes Wednesday, Hawks Friday.
He could do it. I mean, it's not. It's probably less likely
need a couple against the Bruins,
which he could do that. I mean,
or the Hurricanes.
That Bruins team sucks, man. I could totally see him dropping a multi-goal game against them and get one against the Canes. Suddenly, you're 2 away. Like he could totally drop a 2-goal game against the Hawks. So I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. I hope it happens.
He could score a hat trick against the Hawks. That'd be cool.
I hope that happens, honestly. Like, who cares at this point? The season's lost. Like, let's see some history here. Yeah, why not? That'd be cool.
Yeah, what if he's 3 away and like nobody, like, you know how like wasn't Gretzky supposedly going to be like going to like a lot of the games? Like, what if he's like 3 out and then scores a hat trick when like nobody's there? It's like, because is the game is when we play them?
I think
is that
Gretzky's
at the United
now
Center?
Gonna start.
No, it's at Washington.
It's in Washington.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think Gretzky's like already following him.
Yeah, because he could drop like a 4-goal game or something. So yeah, that's probably the time now to start watching history. Yeah.
All right. That's it for this show. Me and Justin only on the podcast on the live show tomorrow. We're bringing in Travis Ballinghoff from Philadelphia Sports, the Nasty Knuckles podcast, going to talk about John Tortorella and who the next coach could be and all that with the Flyers. And then Lee's favorite YouTubers coming on the show on Friday or on Wednesday. So, yeah.
Who is that? The favorite YouTuber there?
Andy Francis.
Oh, Andy's coming.
Yeah,
very nice.
On Wednesday.
Oh, hell yeah!
So
sweet.
So that'll be fun. Earlier show tomorrow too, because we have to end it early. But yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, East or Central Time. Jeez. All right. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Tell a friend to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Same thing. Send our posts to other people on Instagram. And yeah, follow, make a burner. I don't know, make a couple burners. And yeah, 5-star rating and review on Apple Pod and Spotify, and hit the thumbs up on this video right here. Appreciate everybody. Fun watching the Hawks with some real Blackhawks on the team. And you'll hear more from me and Justin tomorrow. Peace out.